Hello, hello. Magic thing is not Krakow, but we are in Warsaw. It looked like a Moscow, but it's the Maria Magdalene Church, equal of apostles in Prague. It sounds like a Czech Prague, but not. We are in Warsaw. Look at this over there, other color of buses. Oh, and snowing. Fucking freezing cold, we say. -5 degrees Celsius. I think you'd appreciate walk with me. Just we getting through the snowy live stream. We're going to Warsaw Old Town. And let's go. I think at first we gathering public for our tour. I bought the ticket 24 hours for 26 zloty. I could use a metro. I could go from here by metro to center. The city center is about 2 kilometers. And I walking close the Warsaw Zoo and the main parish church of St. Florian on my left. But the CC, interesting for Russian-speaking minority, is also here the church in Prague. Warsaw, Prague. I tell you also that Warsaw is not the biggest city in Poland for the area and not the longest. There are two cities that are overtaking Warsaw, and I tell you on the way. But now, of course, with the population over 1.8 million citizens is the biggest population in Poland. Just we gather in public. Okay, there's the crossing. Next part would be smoothly. I'll show you there is the alert for Poland. Tomorrow should be more snow and higher temperature, like about 0 degrees. But the day after tomorrow is the weather forecast that should -30 degrees Celsius. It should be temperature even announced. We're going to the bridge over Wisła River with the best view on the Wisła and Old Town of Warsaw. Obvious 86% of Warsaw was bombed during the Second World War. It's very quick public transport. I said instead of walking, I could go by metro. There are 2 metro lines in Warsaw, very quick. But I want to alive something with you and show you the Warsaw. We say show the beauty of ugly Warsaw, because Warsaw is like a ugly girl. There's such is the ugly, but you got still again and again back. Look at this interesting poster with numbers, and here is the place from the run for brown bears. The Warsaw Zoo is the very famous, one of the biggest in Poland. Here the running brown bears. Was even accidents there. Someone was falling down to the bears. You see here cactus even. They're giving the warm flare, some green in the as advertisement of Warsaw Zoo. Okay. Interesting project. Thank you for joining. Appreciating your questions. We are from the Polish capital city, Warsaw. And on my left, you see the bears are on the block of flats. And the main parish church of Prague, St. Florian, that's the neo style. Hello, hello, Kappa vlog, that's great. There's also a special vlog with staying in touch with my Asian friends from Philippines, and so -5 degrees Celsius, full of snow is the even alert. They say there's even weather forecast said the day after tomorrow should be -30 degrees Celsius. You see the special gloves and sending best wishes from frozen Poland. You see here even the statue of bear. Thank you. And in one moment we walking is the skidding risk. As you see, it's the not very special clean the route. That's why I feel ice under shoes. Look at this. There's such the shoes, and There is the Warsaw Zoo, the incredible story of Warsaw Zoo. During the Second World War, Warsawians were so hungry they eaten the animals, and the family Żabiński, they kept Jews hiding from Warsaw Ghetto. There was the hide in their villa. And there's the hospital connected with our story of the brave Nom de Guerre of Warsaw Uprising. I show you the place that the boys, after treatment, medical treatment, escaping from Nazi Germans, from the Gestapo that following them. They're going by car, and they jumped out of the bridge to the Vistula River. That's why I showed that place. I said, I've got the option went by tram, but I'm walking with you. Yes, big thanks for the connection. Yes, I see. You know, it's the hard for operating for me with gloves. It's the extremely. I have to change camera with naked fingers, pointer, and it's not easy. And you know, Warsaw, the business most attractive city, but slowly Krakow is on the second position in Poland. Krakow has got the 1.2 million citizens, Warsaw 1.8 million. And all corporation centers, skyscrapers are in the city center. In one moment we're walking over a bridge over main river of Poland, Vistula, and I unveil you the one detail. Warsaw is not the biggest matter of area city in Poland. It's the second biggest. The biggest is Gdańsk, over 680 square kilometers. Warsaw is on the second position. That's why Gdańsk, Danzig, former name such the biggest, the matter of area city in Poland. That is the Wisłostrada along Wisła, like La Strada, Wisłostrada across. But we're getting from the right river side Warsaw. Right river side wasn't destroyed during the war, the Second World War, like a left side river side. Here the Warsaw uprisings, the first in Warsaw Ghetto and rising 1944, they both risings were in the left river side Warsaw with city center. That's why we're walking over a bridge. There was the first historical pedestrian bridge, Kierbecz, of engineer Kierbecz, during the Second World War, destroyed. And you see such pretty small tram going very slow, maybe because of the frozen rail. Czynszowa, going to Czynszowa. Oh, you see action for the snow cleaning action. And busy, as of course the slowly started rush hours. People are after work, and usually during the nice weather you see of course better panoramic view, but in front of us the Royal Castle in Warsaw, residence of the last Polish king Stanisław August Poniatowski. He was the subject of Tsarin Katarina the Great. The started partition of Poland, we lost independence. Oh, number 13 is going to Bazylika Kawęczyńska, Kawęczyny. And you see the two Nom de Guerre were escaping from Nazis and jumping out of the bridge. Oh, nie rezygnuj z życia. There's if someone want to jump to this one. You see there's a frozen river, 1,000 kilometers long, and slowly coming the such sugars like a sugar little ice island. Or someone is fishing. Look at this, the guy is sitting there and fishing in the such weather, windy. And the view on the main cathedral of Warsaw of St. John. And the place the two non-daguerre jumped into river. Oh, look at this. On the 1st February 1944, jumped from that bridge and they to Wisła. That was fresh after assassination of the main butcher of Warsaw, Kuchera, the members of the battalion Parasol from Home Army, Polish inglorious bastards, Zbigniew Gęsicki and Kazimierz Scott, that was such, and Semyon Sokół, that was such. That was such the battalion. PW is the meaning of Poland is fighting. During the Second World War, there were illegal graffiti around. No, Palace of Culture is in the clouds. It's not always in the life you could plan properly, but you could enjoy slowly frozen Wisła River. Wisła is going that direction in the north. Wisła joined the Baltic Sea, and there was always problems with the extra toll paying for the Gdańsk citizens. There's the famous monkey business of Mr. Zabłocki. He wanted to avoid the tax and they put the soap under ship, and soap was polluted, and he's got the monkey business because the soap get into water. We say in Polish, wyszedł jak Zabłocki na mydle. There's make the wrong business. Thank you. You appreciate that you see it's not easy for the live stream, but in one moment we get into the city, very brave city. They've got not only one uprising, but in history were moreover the 4 uprisings in history of Warsaw, 2 in 19th century and 2 in 20th century. And now is the better visible. First part, the old town, and second part, so-called new town. Marie Curie Skłodowska was born there, the famous, the first person that got the Nobel Prize, double Nobel Prize, and the first girl could got the driving license. Marie Curie Skłodowska is from Warsaw, and of course Frédéric Chopin. His heart is in the. Oh, you see the such like a island that is such icebergs, so small the sugar ice. Sugar ice is the called the such process of the Wisła River on any rivers are getting frozen. That's why the proper winter to Poland is coming up. We're expecting minus 30 degrees Celsius. Now is the minus 5 and windy. That's why I feel like a minus 10. That's why you see my special protection. At one moment we get into pedestrian zone and I need the special gloves to make the such live stream. No, there's the so-called holidays for the guide. At the moment in tourism is the break, and with family I spend 1 week. That's why. But I did some Segway tours in Warsaw. Some individual visitors visited me with Warsaw many times. My father is from Warsaw, and just connecting with family. I feel that city very well. And discovering new. After that life, big RD, I prepare the short about the discovery of not mammoth but the big elephant bones in the metro station of Warsaw. During building metro in Warsaw, discovered such bones. Metro is the projects of metro in Warsaw were even in 20s. At the beginning of 20th century even, it's not very young project. But they started to dig in 90s. Okay. And the Church of Holy Anne is in the Krakow forest city, the most beautiful part. And the palace that we see in front, the palace under tin roofed palace. The Prince Józef Poniatowski, there was even secret Freemason lodge there. Survived the Second World War. Only roof was destroyed, but that part, the royal palace almost completely bombed, but that gray color lower part survived the war. It's the beautiful exhibit with rich collection artifacts of last Polish king Stanisław August Poniatowski, the Golden Chamber, very recommended. And the typical architecture called the Jardin, the Cour de Jardin. There's one side was the yard and other side the garden. Okay, at one moment we getting to tunnel, the Trasa WZ, west-east, and we getting from Moscow side, and that tunnel was made on the place there were some houses survived the Hitler bombing. And there's the paradox that communists, they make the new project of Warsaw and decided destroy the old artifacts, old houses, and on that place was they made the quick tunnel Trasa WZ, the west-east. We're getting from the east side. Behind me is the Moscow, and in front of me Berlin. That's why the Warsaw city between Moscow and Berlin, and the palace under tin-roofed palace. We could use the elevator or escalator, the second highest escalator in Poland that was open after war, but I lost the live stream connection. That's why I decided to walk upstairs. Okay, we managed the walking over them, but look at this, in the Royal Castle you could see the traces of the Gothic part, Gothic elements. That's why some Gothic left. That's why the Janusz the Old, there was the Mazovian prince that he died, and then Mazovia, there's the region is called Mazovia. Column of Sigismund is there. We're walking to the column on Sigismund soon. Now you see much more life. People honking or sitting on your back on the car. It's the Warsaw style. Okay. Everything icy, but very icy live stream. But we're getting now to the most beautiful part of Warsaw, Krakowskie Przedmieście, Krakow Forest City, and the column of Sigismund. You see what happened with column during the war and in the history. You see, slowly I'm getting white. I think at the end I would see you would see the snowman. That's why the little bit people going very slowly down because it's the icy. I need any spikes. You see the people going slowly down of the Trasa WZ, WZ. And look at this, that column behind me of Sigismund. The figure survived the Second World War. German tank hit that column and the figure falling down and landing on the sword. That's why there's such the lucky coincidence the figure survived. But look at this in front of me. The pieces of the column, they were first time destroyed because the column was such old and they need to change it. And the second one column is lying there. Where is going that group? You don't think is any magic place in the castle? Let's go into the castle very spontaneously. We are close to the column of Sigismund and we're getting inside. That is the search making. Okay, I think is the okay. Just we don't. No, it's not always we could get inside. We got the plan getting Krakow Forest City. I want to show you something special for history of Warsaw. Something untypical. That's why let's go along the city wall. I show you where was the former Jewish synagogue in Warsaw. We're getting short part through the old town. There's some visitors visiting. Christmas tree are staying till 2nd February. In Poland is the such tradition. We're keeping Christmas trees till the 2nd February. Much longer. And here is the start, the Warsaw Old Town. In front of me, Beer Street and Martini Church with Holy Ghost. And across was the place, the old synagogue stayed on the place. Before war, Warsaw had the almost 500,000 Jews. That was the biggest Jewish town city in Europe after New York. Only 10% survived Holocaust. Great. Great. Thank you, Pro Planeta Krakow. But it's enough to look at me and the hard live stream. But I try to show you the most interesting corners of Warsaw Old Town. Here, Magdalena Gessler, they got the famous restaurant Polka as the famous chief master from the Polish cuisine. Is the famous herring in any nice cream serving, and everywhere pierogi, of course, dumplings everywhere. But you see, it's such almost no tourists. It's also here very quiet. Who wants the sightseeing in the such alert time? And St. John Cathedral, almost fully destroyed by the Nazi Germany and rebuilt. But here is buried Prymas Wyszyński, born in Wówzela, and Henryk Sienkiewicz, for instance, are such the most important. But this I show you the something less out of beaten tracks attraction, like a stony bear. That was the legend of the unlucky love of the poor boy to the daughter of the rich goldsmith, and the man observing the wedding of the girl with the other rich boy it transformed into bear, stony bear. If the girl kissed the mouth of the bear, it's again the getting the young man, young boy. That's it's such waiting for miracle, stony bear in the Świętojańska Street as the Holy John Street. And we see what's going on, and the music is coming from the concert. No concert. I think that's such that, but you have to check maybe in the main National Stadium. We see National Stadium from the Royal Square. We taking loop, and I will check. You see the Warsaw Rynek is the not so attractive like a Krakow. It's very, we say, little poorer project, but you see how they look the Rynek during the visiting of the later American President Eisenhower. Is walking over ruins. The houses that you see in background, in one moment you see, I don't come closer because it's licensed for music. Music is getting from it's ice rink. And that's exactly the line with the houses of that family. I'm considering, because I want to show you the house, the place of the former Jewish synagogue in the street Narrow Dunaj. It's the second local of one of the richest family in Warsaw, Fukier. That is the Michelin Guide restaurant. Like a number one. Oh my God, there's always a problem with the license of music. I have to hide the microphone. Don't show. We are in the Rynek. In the middle is the Warsaw Mermaid, but in that place there was the town hall of Warsaw. And here is the Michelin Guide restaurant Fukiera. Fukier with mirrors inside. Okay, let's go to the narrow Duna Street. That was the first democratic club. Hello, Christmas, yes, till 2nd February we're keeping. You see here's Wąski Dunaj, is like a narrow Danube. You see police with dogs that attacking people. I see police walking with dog that jumping on the people. There's the man trailer. Oh, fine. Okay. And that's very friendly. In one moment we see the place I want to do my private discovery on the corner of one street. Here is the Beer Street, but full of snow. And Stolica, that is the local, the closer to the wide Danube. Danube, they call the places with the former river, was even called here in Warsaw Danube, and joined the Wisła River. And for my private discovery, here should stay the former synagogue. Wąski Dunaj, the narrow Danube, and there's the Rycerska Street, there's on the other side, the Night Street. But after my old maps, I discovered on that place was like a Jewish quarter in the old town Warsaw, and he was the place of the former synagogue on that place. Okay. Yes, but now we're getting to the next monument that survived. Interesting, the building substance and city wall. As you see, city wall is the full reconstructed. We say even reconstruction was even bigger than previous wall. And the monument of the little Warsaw nom de guerre, the little boy. That's the most touchy monument. In one moment we get into main monument of Warsaw Uprising, but that little boy that speaks everything is using the German helmet because they with naked hands attacking Germans, and that was the regular underground Polish army, and even the Polish Scouting and Guiding Association sponsored the monument. And on the German helmet, if they gain from the Germans such helm, they have to put the white and red ribbon to be recognized by other nom de guerre. Over 200,000 Warsawians were killed in action during the rising since 1st August till beginning of October. See, a lot of licensed music is going around. We are on the edge of the Nowe Miasto, the new Warsaw town. They were poorer citizens. In the old town, the people make the trade with wood, fruits of forest, and even salt. But in the new town, there were weavers, cloth makers, and simple farmers. There was the poorer part of Warsaw. And here is the only reconstruction of the caterpillar of the German self-driving tank. There was the big explosion. Nom de guerre, they took that self-driving device, and suddenly over 500 Warsawians flying into air, into sky. That was the rain of blood. There was the horrible explosion. There was the Bogart machine and explosion. We're going to the most transparent monument of the Warsaw Uprising. The last President Donald Trump made a speech that addressed the matters connecting with bravely uprising of Warsawians and Poles. That is the famous monument of Warsaw Uprising. Just around the corner. Please stay in touch, connected. Someone could share or recommending my YouTube channel. I'm going to the number of subscribers 6,666. The 4 times 6. That's why who'd be the lucky, get the lucky number, got this very special promotion of me and contacting. That's why please recommend my channel around your friends, and I getting maybe the number of followers 6,666. That would be great. And in one moment I show you something special because it's even small toy plan, the showing the garrison church of the Polish army. Yes, that was such. Every YouTuber, I think, got the such number. Later is coming 4 times 9, 9999. That would be best moment, I think. But you know, I want to work hard to get the such subs, bananas. That's why I got the bananas even rucksack. And look at this, Warsaw Rising, 1944, as you see. And in one moment, you see the most shocking toy plan showing how the Warsaw looked after Second World War. That was the Warsaw. Look at this. Oh, that is the horrible view. Old town, especially the oldest monuments, were completely destroyed. Warsaw uprising, the most brave. There was the Soviet army waiting for other side. They didn't help properly, and that was the like a global suicide. That was such the 200,000 young Warsawians were killed in action against the Hitler. That's why there's Warsaw uprising accent. And one moment we see the monument that I said the last speech got the Donald Trump. Oh, that is now the Palace of Justice, and here that is the group of nom de guerre getting out of the canals. The canals was the best thing to escape and move to other side of the city. And here the group already getting into the canal. And look at this, that monument speaks volumes. The huge statues. That's the like a socialistic style. At the end of communism, they make the such a monument. You see, one is keeping. Usually, they got the equipment getting from Germans. One is getting with Molotov cocktail. There's not bottle of vodka, but the Molotov cocktail. Someone is touching for the good luck. Such thing. Never again the war. And look at this, such impressive monument of Warsaw uprising. They got the horrible condition, but you know, getting through the canals was the much more dangerous than you think. They had to be also not only smell and rats inside, but also the Gestapo put the microphones to eavesdrop any sound from the canals. That's why they have to move in silent through the canals. And Krasicki Palace, just on the edge of the Jewish ghetto. Ghetto was just behind the park of Krasicki. Okay, we're getting Italy. Oh, everything is white. And something special I want to show, the brave girls from the Warsaw. Hello, Seattle, such all my friends. -5 degrees Celsius, but the wind chill factor -10 degrees Celsius. Need the special gloves to have the live stream. And I want to show you the 3 girls appreciating now is the famous Netflix series, the wojenne dziewczyny, the war girls, and they got the such nicknames like Tiki, Marysia, Baśka also, or Czarna, Blaki, and they, with risk of life, they had to they fight with Germans. There was different actions. I recommend you such Netflix film. That was there for the women from Warsaw uprising, for the all monument of the whole women from Warsaw uprising at the edge of Krasicki Palace and Warsaw uprising monument rising 1944. And let's go direction the city center, which they say called Old Town, and from the next the Old Town Starówka. We're getting the most beautiful part of Warsaw, the krakowskie przedmieście, Krakow Forest City. I think you feel the blow of wind, and there's like a little Moscow. Warsaw is slowly snowed under. Weather forecast said in the day after tomorrow should be -30 degrees Celsius in the northeast Poland. That's why the proper winter is coming up. And here, look at this, is marking the canal. There's such canal. That was the way for Warsawians to move during the uprising. Oh, you see the such marking. Plac Krasińskich, and we go in Miodowa Street, Honey Street. Okay. I think the connection is good, independent of the blow of wind and frozen matters. Thai Bali Spa, something hot is getting. You see people from Thailand, welcome on the live stream. People from Thailand working in Poland. Asian people also, they appreciated Warsaw just after communism. They got the trade also. So, okay, here is the theater on the other side, but the avant-garde, and the church, Lutheran church in Warsaw. In the Miodowa Street is the one Lutheran church. Oh, look at this, it's getting cleaning the road. Yes, that was the snowed under Warsaw. And Lutheran church in Warsaw. Interesting, before war there were some German minority in Warsaw. Oh. You see, there's the jump because of the frozen weather. Sorry, you got the little jump. And with the Miodowa Street, we're walking one moment over the tunnel of the road WZ West-East. And in one moment we're getting the most prestige and beautiful street in Warsaw, Krakowskie Przedmieście, Krakow Forest City. You could ask different questions, we could exchange the minds, but you know, the longest street, I said one thing at the beginning, is the Warsaw the longest city? No, the Jelenia Góra, Hirschberg is the longest, they got 40 kilometers long, Warsaw got only 30 kilometers. Yes, the gimbal is very funny. Here is the former house of the archbishops of Warsaw, and something with medical healthcare here. That's why Warsaw is the spread north-south 30 kilometers and east-west 28 kilometers. But that is not the longest city. Hello, user. The longest is the Jelenia Góra, 40 kilometers. In one moment we're getting Capuchini Church with very unique monument of the unemployed person, homeless person. I think it's very unique, only one place in the world that I saw appreciating a homeless person in such way. Please be careful, because it's the place of funeral two Polish kings, like parts of the John I Sobieski and August the Strong are inside. You see? Be careful, ice and snow is falling from the roofs. And look at this Capuchini church, Capuchini, and look at this, someone sleeping here. But it's the monument appreciating homeless, interesting, like a homeless Jesus, very, very special. Have you seen such thing? Yes, and the moving shop car, he invited me inside to the inside of the Capuchini church. Interesting. Okay. And from the perspective we don't see properly, it's not mermaid, but the Nike, the goddess of victory, but she was relocated in such an attractive place. Look at this. It's the not mermaid, but the Nike. She was in a much more transparent place, but now it's closed, the Capuchini Church, Miodowa Street, Honey Street. and we fighting with the snow and continuing extremely snowy live stream. We're getting over the road east-west. Thank you, comments. And you see that tunnel was constructed after Second World War. That direction is the west, Berlin, and the people going to tunnel direction Moscow. That's why the Warsaw is like halfway between Moscow and Berlin. And exactly that is the blue skyscraper. That was the great synagogue destroyed after uprising in Jewish ghetto. The Obersturmbannführer Jürgen Stropp, they put the explosive on the synagogue, said "Hi Hitler," and this blown up the greatest synagogue from the Jewish community, like a finishing Jewish life in Warsaw after ghetto uprising 1943. Yes, and you see, I'm slowly see you less and less, but let's streaming to the most beautiful prestige street, krakowskie przedmieście. Let's do it with the, I'm good protected against the temperature, wind chill factor, like a minus 10 degrees Celsius. How you see, people smiling. I think Warsawians like filming, and they are used that different filmmakers like Warsaw. Warsaw is like a city for filmmakers. It's of course the main television, everything. Okay, we're getting Senate Street, that is the Senate of Warsaw, got the prestige buildings and National Theatre. And here is the Kosia, the most funny street, because before Second World War there was a lot of brothers there, brothers and such, the girls, they looking jobs, they're staying on the street. That's why like a red light district, red light street of Warsaw before Second World War. I don't know now. Now they stay getting St. Anna Church with panoramic terrace on the top. Police, like a Smurfs. Police in Poland is called Smurfs because they are blue. Cops. And then you see tower of the St. Anna Church with the panoramic terrace, but in the summer. And at the moment, Jet is asking if there's any concerts on Nina. Maybe in the national, yes, a national stadium that is the capacity for 80,000 people. And you look at this, we took the first loop, the column of Sigmund, the Royal Castle, and we walking the most prestige, beautiful street close the presidential palace. I tell you a few words about the Frédéric Chopin. Two places that Frédéric Chopin was, his heart was the deposit, Chomiczkówka. Bus. In that house there was like a technical school before war. Attended here Marie Curie Skłodowska. That is the little plaque commemorating her. And I tell you some funny thing about the statue of Mickiewicz. Such one moment's coming up that part. But you see, the walking is the more and more difficult. Slowly I need the ski to move in Warsaw. I cannot imagine now the Segway tour or scooter tour on the such live condition. There's such the extremely high skidding risk. But you know, in Warsaw it's feasible Segway tour, Kraków, Wrocław or Gdańsk, the three cities. There's the Herbert Clark Hoover, you know, there's the famous Hoover soup of him. There's the meeting of business people, they paying $1,000 per bowl of rice or soup. And that is the charity meeting. That was his idea of the Clark Hoover, the later from the president family. And in Kraków is also roundabout of the Clark Hoover. And everywhere zapiecek, zapiekanka, Polish pizza serving, pierogi, dumplings. You see Christmas atmosphere everywhere. Yes, in Poland we're keeping the such Christmas decoration till 2nd February. 2nd February is the such Christmas decoration. Thank you for subscribing, for free following. You got much more information around the Poland, not only Warsaw, but especially Kraków, because I'm native Krakowian. But I like visiting different corners, showing about the different point of views, like here staying also in that frozen weather. Jehovah Witness, that's as such is no problem. There's as such the problem. Let's see behind the monument of the Mickiewicz. That was the destroying of monument, and they left only upper part of monument, and the huge head of Hermann Göring. The such that part was the left remained after Second World War, and they remelted the head and put into corpse of the Adam Mickiewicz. That's why the such like a head of Hermann Göring is inside of the monument of Mickiewicz. Visit the church, one of the concerts got the Frédéric Chopin. Yes, so great, of course. That's why, as I see I try keep live streamings, and tell me if the idea of live streaming such long, like a 1 hour, makes sense, because I see my Asian friends, they do the live streams very long, and tell me if there's the sense to make the long live streams, because for instance, the people from my family, they say they don't have nerves to watch the 1 hour walking live stream after. That's why please write me, experts from Asia, my dear friends, my lovely friends, please write me, is the sense making such 1 hour live streams from the interesting corners of Poland. If there is the only time, I think it's time slowly, less and less. European hotel, and in one moment you see the most important building, the former Koniec Polski Palace, but now is the presidential palace of President of Poland. That figure of Prince Poniatowski, so-called Pepi, is of course after Second World War put the place. You see here soldiers protecting the place, and now that monument was destroyed during Second War, now is the replaced. But here was the most important moment. Frédéric Chopin had the first concerts for Tsar of Russia, and he's got the even ring from Tsar. But then in Paris later in the emigration he needed money, and they sold the ring out. That's why we don't see. But the 7 years old Frédéric Chopin, the first concert, and here was the most important moment after communism, round table, like King Arthur table. Solidarity met with communists, and decision of the finishing communism was taken here. The most important presidential palace during the Second World War was the Deutsches Haus, residence of the governor of Krakow, Dr. Hans Frank, and undestroyed during the Second World War. Interesting, some objects in Warsaw, like 14% of Warsaw, were intact. Some pilots needed any point of reference and protected some places. Very luxurious hotel, Europe, but here for filmmakers. But here, one moment, we passing the most expensive hotel, Bristol. That is the Margaret Thatcher. Any American visitors, most important, very important people, always stayed in the hotel Bristol, 5-star hotel. You see, making always clean. No one should break in. The most expensive rooms were on the ground floor, the cheapest on the roof. You see the Bristol Hotel. In one moment we see luxury collection hotel. At the moment we cannot peeping inside. Mick Jagger stayed here also, and Mick Jagger was serving him the pierogi, dumplings, and he said there must be the best Polish food, and always for visitors behind Checkpoint Charlie serving dumplings, pierogi, as the symbol of Poland. Mick Jagger and famous reception of Mick Jagger in the Hotel Bristol. Look at this from that side, how looks luxurious. Look the hotel. Oh, you see Bristol Hotel behind me, and now the outside camera is better. You see still Christmas decoration till 2nd February, as I said. And here is very shy staying Bolesław Prus. Always tourists asking why is so on the low basement, no high. He's got the fear, he's got the agoraphobia, so he didn't like space, high height. That's why after he died, he didn't wish the Prus scary, and he's staying just on the low level, not the high. On that place was the chief editor of the Warsaw Courier, Warszawski Warsaw Courier, the press, and he was the chief editor and the famous writer. The famous book is the Lalka. Now is the fresh make the new version of the famous film, after the famous roman novel of him, Lalka is the puppy. And look at this, the Saski axe, that is the remains in the background of the tombstone of unknown soldier. But we don't go from the such empty space. We walking, as I said, most prestige and place I think is now behind is the better to show the behind me the most beautiful Bristol Hotel Bristol, like a number one, and the second one also for the very important people, Hotel Europejski, European hotel, the very high world class hotels. Karowa, of course, Karowa is the, yes indeed, but on my plan, on my schedule, I wish to show you the Holy Cross Church with Frédéric Chopin accent. He is the primas. They're making dialogue with communist Wyszyński. He was born in the Vuvuzela, there's such village northeast from Warsaw. Arrested by communists, he was in the detention, but then he was the also spiritual father of the John Paul II during the fighting against the communists. In that building is the now next building, Mercedes-Benz, is the military service, and the guards walking to the tombstone of unknown soldier. Every hour is the changing guards. The moment, maybe we could. What do you think about the changing guards? But as such the long way. I don't have as such the time to step the hours in one place. We're getting to the most beautiful street, the church, Holy Cross. Always before coronations, the kings, the such, attended the holy service in the St. Cross Church. And that is the heart of the Frédéric Chopin and other Nobel Prize writer, Wacław Reymont. Yes, inside. But we on the live stream it's infeasible to walk inside. Sorry, but the live stream is broken immediately. That's why I try to make maximal outside impression. In the full snow, as you see, we are passing one moment the Warsaw University, and as you see, some houses survived the bombing, like house over there. That was the lucky, and from the color. Now is the bookshop there. Oh, someone is going on the, you see, e-scooter. And Warsaw University, you see the flag of Warsaw, and created at the beginning of 19th century, like leading the best university in Poland, the oldest in Krakow, but that Warsaw University is number one, especially law, IT, or medicine and science generally, that is such number one university. And here you see the Frédéric Chopin stayed with the family. That is such, here is the commemorating him 1830. Here Frédéric Chopin staying. Not long, he was in many places in Warsaw. And Cyprian Nobly, the third writer. Perfect. Yes. The Lalka started. Yes, the Lalka. We're going on the scenery of the backstage of the Lalka film. Lalka was the making here. Yes, the Krakow forest city. Oh, you see that slowly we got the effect of the Krakow forest city, and the most touching Church of Holy Cross with the figure of Jesus that survived the war. The Jesus falling down and pointing the sky, and in the Warsaw films about the Warsaw Uprising also you see the touchy moment, because the churches was usually for the defenders was the place that yes, plate bench is closed very well. You got the perfect memory. And here is the entrance to the crypt of the church. But you see Sursum Corda, there's our hearts, they're getting up. And that is the most touchy and symbolic place of the Warsaw, like a symbol of Warsaw. Is scenery from Lalka, as you said, and place the heart of Frédéric Chopin. Many times I described that history of his heart. You could find my film about the Chopin and Milanove that I told how the lucky circumstances were around the hiding heart of Frédéric Chopin. The Academy of Science there, and in the full snow sitting Nicolaus Copernicus. He wasn't from Warsaw, he was just on the way from Kraków from Toruń to Kraków, and just the monument was recognized by Germans as the German astronomer Copernicus, and was the inscription from the German astronomer. And the Polish army, they destroyed that monument, they took out the such plaque and replaced that. That's why the such Nicolaus Copernico, Gracia Partia. Oh, and you see the most touchy the view. Okay, but now I've got the idea to show you the first McDonald's in Poland, the place that was the first McDonald's, and we got in close the Palace of Culture. I want to first time the connecting the Praga with place of Palace of Culture in Krakow. Yeah. Yes, that is such the last view on the most beautiful corner. Warsaw, wind chill factor -10 degrees Celsius. Is the freezing part, okay? In that grey building is the also survived the war. That was the any special office during the Warsaw Uprising. Nowy Świat is the started the new world, and you saw it's the special action fighting with snow in whole Poland, especially Warsaw. You see the such preparing from the action, such the parts, all fighting with snow. And we're getting to the only one crossing between two metro lines. Yes, we say there's the light set, the Chłodno, there's the very, very cool. I remember winter with -30 degrees Celsius. And we're getting to the metro stations, they're crossing two lines. And the Świętokrzyska, the Holy Cross Street, and you see entrance to metro, and I'm going to do the short showing the place that during the building metro discovered bones of the elephant. You couldn't imagine, but during building one metro and such bones are presenting in the one of the metro stations. But let's stay connected with me to the end of life, and then I'm going by metro to the special station with the big discovery of the. Look at this. Before Second World War, we walking the Holy Cross Street, direction to first McDonald's in Poland, and McDo. And before war, there were some houses with the concrete construction. There was the special steel concrete, and that building in front of us. There was the Pasta and Prudential. And Prudential organization, there is the Financial Ministry of Finance, financial and production, of course, the main mint of Poland, some secret quiet corners. And that building, you see, they looked like a cigar. Also, you see, that was one of the highest buildings in Warsaw, over 60 meters high, and that was the insurance company Prudential, and the nom de guerre, they wished to get such places. They were crucial during the uprising, the rising. Yes, and Holy Cross Street. Okay, and look at this. Here is the also quiet building, but the beautiful we say historical palace of the main organization of the projects of skyscrapers in Poland. Naczelna organizacja techniczna. Such beautiful palace they've got on the Czackiego Street, Czacki Street, and the Palace of Culture is coming. You know, in the future, all skyscrapers, you see cars getting very, very slow. I think it's the pace of moving cars 10 kilometers per hour. Now I'm walking faster at the metro than the cars. And it's the typical social realism. Socrealism. There's the social idea and real in form. Such architecture you find in Magnitogorsk, Nowa Huta, district of Krakow. Warsaw was like we see here, Stalin's dream, and slowly is getting in the background Palace of Culture. But it's very strong building. In the future we won't see skyscrapers, we see only Palace of Culture. Now there's such the fighting with the more and more deeper snow. Oh, this is such funny thing. You could check your weight of oranges, and here is the square of the Warsaw uprising, but there's still construction. That is, the place is under construction, but the Prudential, very proud building. There is such of course now refurbished, but with roots before Second World War. There was one of the highest buildings in Warsaw. That was the one figure of Napoleon even there on that corner. But we stay in touch, we're getting very close. I want to show you the phenomenal matter, the first McDonald's in Poland, Mazowiecka Street, as you see on that part. The people are completely snowed under as they're waiting long green light. Please be patient, because on the green we cannot change the time. Just waiting for a moment. Thank you that waiting with me. That's such the great part. That's I think the longest traffic jam in Warsaw on the Mazowiecka Street. Prue. In that time, Prue they called. Okay, Prue. Yeah, thank you for the such nice. There's the Polish flags on the top. And one moment we're going on the place that was the first McDonald's in Poland. Now there's the crazy thing, but that building was completely destroyed, and on that place they put the new building with McDonald's. Interesting fact. And here under construction, the square of the Warsaw uprising people. Okay, and okay, let's move to that is interesting. That battery is the God resistance, that is staying battery with the long life. Thank you. There's over 63 minutes live. Thank you for free subscriptions, recommending channel, sharing. Such funny bikes. Aioli Club, Cantina Bar, Aioli. You see the Turkish people, Asians enjoy Warsaw. There's a lot of Asian cuisine around Warsaw. Dinner is also like in Berlin. Oh my God! Again, the music with the license. I don't want to giving the music as the background, because then my live stream would be stopped. My God! In Krakow is not such case that you got the licensed music out on the street, and then I got the trouble on the live stream. Okay. Oh, that is the Parliament, European Parliament building. On the left. Thank you, the same to you. You see there's some school groups, but no huts, and the such the Johnny. Okay, and one moment we're getting closer to the first McDonald's in Poland. Such there's the closer Costa Cafe, and exactly on that place on the crossroads. On the Mazowiecka, and the McDonald's was on the place on the crossroads on the Mazowiecka and Świętokrzyska. There was the place of the first McDonald's. And during the first opening 2000, I remember, in 1992, there was over 45,000 people came from the opening the first McDonald's in Poland. They got the business with the selling over 13,000 transactions. In that time there was only cash, no card. That's why there was the record. But then we see on the other corner McDonald's, there is such also the in the vicinity of the first McDonald's in Poland. No, that is the only problem, the long traffic lights, that I cannot do nothing. Let's change that. But thank you for staying with me and recommending my channel around. I done especially long live stream to increase publicity and getting the number of subscribers 6,666. That's why the most important to get the goal such 4 times 6. That's why they're just very close. Thank you for appreciating my time, and I appreciate your time that you're spreading information about the live stream around your friends, independent of the weather, snows, sun or rain. I do the live streams around Poland. You could find the most interesting corners of Poland with Tom Guide Kraków. Sometimes I'm going longer, like now, because I want to show you also the Palace of Culture as the finishing of the tour. And later I'm going to make the such short around the elephant bones discovered during the building Warsaw Metro. That is the absolutely interesting fact of the part. That's why thank you for staying and sharing information. And look at this, just on the other corner is more attractive place. Not in the same place, but I show you the place that was the first McDonald's in Poland. Here is the new McDonald's, but they closed the first McDonald's in Poland. Around the corner, I show you the place. Okay, but modern things around us, and we're getting the essential view. And little we could hide under the roof because here is on the Marszałkowska Street. That building is on the place of the oldest McDonald's. Yes, Marszałkowska, and that place was the oldest McDonald's in Poland. And you see the Palace of Culture. That was the Warsawian got the choice, metro or palace. And in that time they were built the 7 sisters around the Moscow, and there was like a present of Stalin, and make the Palace of Culture built. But they compared with other skyscrapers, there is the strongest construction. In the future, such skyscrapers cannot survive anything, and Palace of Culture staying 237 meters high and still fit, and that is such the part. Yes, such there's 4 theaters, cinema, the over 16 there's 16 people there's such died during the building the palace, and the former color was the beautiful white. Now is the new Museum of Design, new building, little hiding the silhouette of the palace. In the Bagno, interesting. Yes, that is such the Bagno Street, yes, the All Saints Street. Okay, but I think there's such the live, they shouldn't be extremely long. I don't know just if how many people just on the live. Just let me check the comments, but I cannot see the comments. There's the only problem that if I don't see comments, I don't know how many people could watch following farther part. I think I prepared a short around such the discovery of elephant bones in Warsaw Metro. That's why please watch after that film the short 1 minute around the discovery of the elephant bones in Warsaw Metro. And thank you for watching from beginning to the end, for any tipping and increasing viewership up to 6,666. That is the goal, to get such amount of subscribers. Big thanks, all best wishes from the frozen Warsaw. See you in the next parts of